Alright, so for part 2 here, we're going to take a look at the form. We're going to open that up, and I already started it just to make it a little bit quicker. But first thing is, for every tag you made in your digitized form, you're going to want a question for that in the Google form. And so I went through, I did first name, last name, and then this is an example. If you have, like a cluster and you all work together, you can, then I used SDSC as an example, but they get to pick whichever one it is, or grade. And let's see, and don't be afraid to use different types. So like for grade, there's a whole bunch of different things you can use here. So multiple choice, that would be 9, 10, 11, 12. And I like to make everything a required question, and if it doesn't apply, just have them put NA. The other thing is, don't be afraid to duplicate. So a lot of these are like text answers, and you'll have a lot of those, so you can just go ahead and duplicate it. And then it already puts in, okay, so like we want parent 1, and then whatever information. And then in this case, it'd be actually paragraph text. But duplicating is a quick way to get through a lot of this. And these forms can get pretty long, so don't be afraid to use section headers and page breaks. I like to break mine down into like delegate general information, delegate medical stuff, then parent 1, parent 2, and emergency contact, all with their own separate pages. It just makes it a little easier to get through. Let's see here. Again, the email is very important because this, in our case, we're sending it to parent 1. So I'm going to show you something that you may not know about. You can go ahead and edit, and then under advanced settings, you can do data validation, and we're going to go to text and is an email address. So if they type in, and it doesn't confirm that the email address is correct, but the form, so that you have, something at something.com or .net or whatever. And if that's not filled in correctly, it'll say, oh, please use the correct format. And then the other thing, and this is a big pet peeve of mine, is the phone number. There's 100 different ways to write out a phone number. And I don't really care which way, just as long as they're all the same. So we want it, like, I'm going to say I want it in a format like this. And so we're going to go to under advanced settings, data validation, and then we're going to go to regular expression, and then contains, and then this little piece of code right here. Now, people who actually know code would know what this means, but you can go on to Google and search data validation expressions, and they have a bunch of them for phone numbers, emails, street addresses, whatever you'd want if you want to get more advanced. But phone number, that's a pretty big one because you want everyone to kind of have it the same way. And this expression makes it so that they have to enter it this way. And if they do it wrong, then they'll get a thing here that says whatever you put. So like, please use a correct format. So that's basically it. Just making sure that you have at least one question for each tag. And things I like to do is and normally on ours I put this first, but here I have it last. So today's date, and then that'll just go ahead and fill out everywhere that they need to sign in date. It'll put that today's date in, and then 7 random letters. I use that for the special code, which will go in the footer of each one. So then they just type in their own random code, and yeah. So that's about it. Let's see here. From this point, if this didn't pop up, this sheet, you can go to view responses and it'll bring up your sheet. But that's for the next video, so we'll see you there.